What's going on, guys? So before I start off today's video, I want to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. That's pretty freaking cool. I know a lot of you also messaged me on Instagram asking me where I've been at, so hopefully today's video should be making up for it. But if you can't already tell by the title, I am going to be taking my front lip and rear lip to go get painted. I've actually taken it back to the same place I got my side mirrors painted. But a little backstory to the lips. Of course, like as you guys know from the last video, I get all my lips from people who have Accords. And of course I got my front lip from a guy who had an Accord, and the rear lip I've had for like the longest time. I got it from No Way Jose, but I never put it on simply because I don't know, I don't think I was ready yet. So, but today I'm taking the leap and I'm going for it. So let me show you real quick. So as you guys can see here, I have the rear lip. This is the modulo lip. It's an authentic lip. Pretty cool. It's got the cutouts for the which may or may not be happening pretty soon. So if I were you, I would stay up with the videos, because within the next video or so, I may or may not be getting in a. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it happens soon. But other than that, I got the front lip as well. This front lip I actually got from a guy named Santiago on Instagram. I'll link everything down below. It is a used lip. The only bad thing about this is, unfortunately, it does have a crack right here, as you guys can see. So hopefully the guy who paints it is able to fix that, or at least it's not an issue. But if you guys want to see what it looks like, it's a perfect fit. Almost. Put that right there. And there you go, voila. It should look something like that. So I'm pretty hyped, but I gotta get going because I told him I'll be there in about 20 minutes, and it takes me about 20 minutes to get there, and I called him like 10 minutes ago. So other than that, those are two small updates. Oh, actually, one more update since I'm on this, because someone has been asking an update on my trunk. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but when I did that video on how to do a wood trunk, I don't think I've ever showed you guys the final result. So this is what it looks like. Now I said I was gonna use like some thin like lining or something on the edges, but I couldn't find anything thick enough, so I went with rope. I think it looks a lot more cleaner, and it covers up a lot more space. Obviously this side isn't perfect, but this side came out good. So other than that, everything looks pretty good. So now I gotta put those two lips in the car, and since I can't open my trunk or put them through my trunk, I have to put everything inside my car. So as you guys know, this is a struggle I face. I can't use my trunk because of the sub, and basically because of the sub, I can't put anything inside my trunk. So gotta put everything inside the car. Let's put this in the car. Take that off. Cool. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna close the door. Easy. And easy. Perfect. Alright guys, so it's actually been a few days since the last clip you just saw. And as you guys can see behind me, the Accord, well, it's in pieces. I did the liberty of taking my front bumper off already because, as you guys know, well, I don't think I told you yet, but I got my lips back from the shop the other day. They came out pretty good. The only thing is that the color is slightly off. Like I was mentioning, my car is like a mismatch of colors, unfortunately. I just need to get it painted again overall, or B, wrap it, which is something I kind of want to do over the summer, is wrap my car. But I'll show you guys real quick how they came out. I got the rear lip over there, as you guys can see. I'm not going to really show you that just because you guys already seen it, and I'm not going to put that on just yet. So I'm just going to show you what the front lip looks like. So as you guys can see, front lip is right here, and then this is how it came out. It came out pretty good. Like I said before, there is a crack in it, which is right here. He did the best he could to patch it up, but unfortunately that crack is just so fragile that it just broke again when I was taking it out of the car, unfortunately. So that's cracked. And then he did fix the cracks that were, I believe it was over here. There was a chunk of it missing, and he patched it up, did a pretty good job. So what I'm going to be using to put this onto the car are just some machine screws along with some Phillip head or some washers as well. And then I'm just going to put it onto the bottom of the bumper. I did kind of want to repaint this as well. Fortunately, I can't find the letterings that I used to originally paint it with. And then actually, before I do that, just remembered, I kind of need to jack up my car real quick, simply because the other day I was hanging out with a couple friends and I noticed that my car was making some noise over by the rotor, not by the rotor, by the right tire. And when we pulled over, took a look, we couldn't really find anything, but I did notice that there is something leaking. Not sure what it is, so since I do have my front bumper off, I might as well just jack it up real quick. It's on the right side, and I'll show you guys, see if maybe we can assess what it is, and hopefully it's nothing too bad, because I do plan on getting something very soon for the car, and I don't want to have to waste my money on fixing it. But if it does come down to it, I'll fix my car because that's more important than getting the other thing. So let me set up the camera real quick, show you guys how I jack up the car, and then see if we can assess what's wrong with it. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. Okay guys, so I think I found the problem. So once I took the wheel off, you can clearly see where that leak is coming from. So if you guys take a quick look in there, as you guys can see where my axle is, right there, the inner CV boot is torn, and of course it is leaking grease everywhere, as you guys can see. Maybe you can take a better look in here, right there. And as you guys can see, just with the swipe, looks like shit. Which is funny because the first time I noticed it, which was last week, my friend, the homie from Lewis, was looking at it and he was like, dude, Jose, you ran over a diaper, because it literally looks like shit. It's just a whole bunch of grease. So I will need to get the whole axle replaced ASAP. I know people saying you can replace the boot, but considering that mine is torn, it's been torn since, as far as I know, it's been torn since last week. But it could have been torn longer than that, because I don't know. This is the first time I noticed it. I am just probably going to end up replacing the whole axle instead, just to be sure. Now that at least I know what it is, the cost to fix it, considering the boot, if I would have replaced the boot earlier, if I'd have known about it, it would have cost me probably about 20 bucks or under. I think that's what I found online. And to replace the whole axle, I think it was 50 bucks. Let me look this up real quick. Okay, so if I wanted to replace the axle, it will cost me $64.99 at AutoZone. Probably find it cheaper online, but I don't know. So hopefully it's not too bad, but, well, that's not too bad, I guess. I was, thinking more along the lines of like a couple $100. But luckily it isn't that expensive. And you guys can see there is my coilover, pink. But yeah, so hopefully I should replace that as soon as possible, sometime this week. But let's put on the front lip. As you guys can see, and I do need to order headlights as well, but that's gonna have to wait now. Need to replace that. I want to tell you guys so bad what I want to buy, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for a while, just because I don't know. I like keeping things secret and letting you guys know after I do it. So let me put the wheel back on real quick, and then we'll put the front lip on real quick, so give me a second. So as you guys can see, the car is all back together and the lip is on. I really like how it looks. Like I said, I do have a garage lip on temporarily just until I can get a front splitter for it. And then The fitment on it is okay. Looks really good on this side, really good. And then you get to this side, you have that crack right there, which you get closer, you can kind of see it. And then when you go on this side, for some reason it doesn't want to go all the way around. But other than that, I really like how it looks. And as you guys can see, if I get a little bit close, you can sort of see the color difference on it. And that's because, of course, my front bumper, which is an aftermarket bumper, I had it painted, but when I got it painted, he painted it like a different shade. He did get my color code off my car, but for some reason it came out a little bit lighter. And then this one he color matched it to the rest of my car, but for some reason it came out a little bit more darker. So matching a car is kind of hard or I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to color match a piece, make sure they color match it to the spot which is going to go on instead of the color code from the car, because as you guys can see, the colors are different. But let me quickly pull this out just so you guys can see it in the sunlight and admire it just as much as I do. And as you guys can see, my car is on a wood because I cannot fit a jack without it. So let me quickly pull it out and show you guys this. So other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and shoot shout out to Dagger Corpora. And someone's calling me. Let's take a look who's calling. Oh wait, Christian's calling. What's this guy want? Come on. Hello? What are you talking about?
Where are you?
I'm at home.
Mommy, come out.
I'm not gonna go out to LA right now, fuck. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I know I've been sort of lagging on the videos, but thank you guys to the ones who do watch. Really appreciate it. Also, like always, if you guys have any questions, any comments, concerns, hit me up on Instagram. A lot of you always message me on Instagram, and that's the best way to reach me. I try to reply to YouTube comments, but sometimes there are comments that do get buried, so I don't see them until I go back into the comment section and take a look. But that's the way the Accord looks. I'm pretty much happy with it. Of course, like I said, there's a little bit of a difference, but it's all the same to me. Eventually, I will replace the whole front end. Like I said, I do want to do a UC1 conversion one day. So this whole setup is just temporary because one day it will change. So like I said, also stay tuned because there's another piece going onto the Accord. Major changes coming soon. And hopefully I can get back into the routine of making videos for you guys. So other than that, like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next one. Later.